The red sun rises. Blood has been spilled this night.
So the score is, if you want to do a scoreboard, the globe Earth predicts every sunrise for every location on Earth pretty much perfectly. Maybe it's off a couple minutes, but again, with refraction, with the, I can see it being off a couple minutes. Who cares? It's a couple minutes. The flat Earth has never predicted one sunrise or sunset time or angle for any location on any day in any year in any decade in any century. So that's a huge problem. If you're a flat earther, just accept that. Nobody ever said that to me. I wish somebody would have said that to me. Jeran, do you know that the sunrise and sunset times and angles for the globe Earth matches every single location? You can go to any location and check this.
December 9th, 2022.
Yeah, I want to jump in because there's something I wanted to say about the sun setting thing. Have you done any kind of calculations? Because when it comes to having that lens that you showed in the video, we can do calculations. Snell's law does exist to be able to do that kind of stuff. So have you done any kind of calculations so that we can say, okay, this is what we would expect to see if the Earth were flat, and this is what we would expect to see if the Earth is a globe, so that we can compare the two to work out which one comports most with reality? Have you done that?
That question sounds like it's hitting the same note. You never responded to that back then. You certainly appear to be responding to it now, though.
The flat Earth has never predicted one sunrise or sunset time or angle for any location on any day in any year in any decade in any century.
Now let's go see how Austin responded to that question.
Your calculations came from making the observations and then making the model after you saw what happens. And you have all that, and then you keep saying you didn't do anything, right? So you just think you have this confidence over here, like we have this amazing model. You have to explain how everything in the universe works, and you can't even do the math for your own model. So the answer is that you made the calculations after the fact, and we don't have to.
You're claiming that the flat Earth has to make sunset predictions without any prior data, using only our model, when the globe Earth doesn't even do that. No one does.
We see the observations. We have the same observations.
Our models are backwards engineered based off of what we see. We both see the sunrise, and so we take notes about what time we saw the sunrise. Okay, that's historic data. And after we've taken a bunch of notes, we're able to make accurate predictions going forward. Based on this time of the year, this is the time I see the sunrise. And on this time of the year, I see the sunrise slightly differently. So I can use that to make accurate calendars. Textbooks acknowledge that the Mayans, who were flat earthers, were really good at this. The Canadian Museum even acknowledges that the flat earth Mayan calendar was more accurate than the standard calendar that the world uses today.
Actually, if you use magnetic holography, mapping out the Earth or mapping out the sun over the course of a year, we have a model that explains the position of the sun everywhere, maintaining exact angular size, and it's not in any way refutable. It's a magnetic holography projection of the Earth. We mapped it out with tons of data. So yeah, we did do the calculations. We showed exactly where the sun would be, exactly what it'll look like, and exactly how it works on a flat Earth, and it can't be refuted.
So you have your azimuth out to your horizon to get your direction. Then you have your zenith directly above you that gives you a perpendicular L, right? And then you take your elevation angles up from your horizontal baseline, right? And you do this all around you and it gives you a dome. This azimuth is used for sun calc. This is used for stellarium. This is used for the current globe model, even, to map out the sky. Because when we go out and we look at the sky and we take angle measurements, this is what we get. It's just absurd to deny it, It's what we get when we make observations. We have crepuscular and anticrepuscular rays that curve and connect in each horizon. Even when the sun's setting in the west, we see anticrepuscular rays in the east. And they curve up above you and come back down. So this is just a known fact. So when we apply this to what we see in the sky on a plane, it explains all celestial observations, including the sunrise and sunset positions of everywhere on the earth at any day of the year, everywhere. Okay. So that one's debunked.
Here's a depiction of, or here's an actual observation of the sun. This is beautiful. This is by Rakia, live shout to him. And watch what the sun does here. Now, they claim that the sun is going, actually the sun's sitting still and we're falling back away from it and the curve of the earth is blocking it. Of course, as you see right here, the sun is disappearing into the vanishing point of the sky up above the horizon. This proves to you the sun can disappear from the bottom up, completely void of physical obstruction. No glober has ever rebutted it. They can't. They just freak out.
It's a level plain, and when we say level, yes, there's mountains, there's valleys, there's ridges, there's oceans. But everybody is standing upright. There is nobody antipodal to me, there is nobody antipodal to you. There's nobody underneath you standing upside down. That is simply a fabrication told by men who think very little of you. You know, most of the theories that come out of cosmology, they come from theoretical physicists like Michio Kaku, who's been on record saying that nobody that he knows of in his field uses the so-called scientific method.
Science is based on things that are testable, reproducible, and falsifiable. You're not going to believe this. In science, we always say that you make observations, you have a theory, you go make more observations, and it's a very, very tedious process. Wrong. Nobody that I know of in my field uses the so-called scientific method. In our field, it's by the seat of your pants. It's leaps of logic. It's guesswork.
Well, if you don't use the scientific method, but you are selling your product as science, that is the very definition of pseudoscience. So, again, who's doing the pseudoscience here? When you're going to tell people when they're 6 years old and 7 years old that they're spinning on a gigantic ball and that it's flying through space at ridiculous speeds and that it's never, it's got no impunity, nothing's getting in its way, nothing's causing it to deviate, it's just, everything's just so perfect. And then you hear these speeds, and they're ludicrous speeds, like we're traveling right now. If you just close your eyes, you can feel it, 1.2 million miles per hour as we fly through the vacuum of space. Again, we've got an atmosphere attached, which seems quite strange in the fact that that atmosphere should have been gone long ago. It is adjacent to a vacuum, and the vacuum should equalize that pressure over time. However, that's not happening. If you take a vacuum chamber, and let's say it's as big as the room that we're in, and we evacuate all the air, but in the center of the room we have a box, like a shoebox size, and in that shoebox is air, and it's also sealed. So we evacuate the big room, all that's left is the box with the air in the middle. We electronically open that lid. What's going to happen to the air in that box? Of course, it's going to immediately fill the space. It's going to immediately disperse into that vacuum. If the globe theory was correct, then the gravity would clearly be strong enough to hold that small bit of air in that box because it's closest to the Earth. So that is disproves that whole idea right there. It is clear that we can't have an atmosphere next to a vacuum. And you believe it not but based on any evidence other than men have told you. Men that you believe in, men that you trust, it's man worship. So I'm skeptical of that. And we get yelled at and shouted at and called names and made fun of because we're skeptical of a crazy claim that has really no evidence.